What's going on, guys? Appreciate you stopping by. So I just filled up my truck and it came right just shy of $100. It's like 99.63. And there's a lot of people, including me, talking about gas, the economy, online, with a lot of theories as to what might happen in the future. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, 100% of my predictions about what would happen in the future at any given point has been wrong. I'm batting zero. That doesn't mean that, some things don't come close, but trying to predict the future, there's just far too many variables to do it accurately. Otherwise, people would do it all the time. Computers would be doing it. AI. And who knows, maybe AI will be able to do it at some point. What I do want to talk about is the long-term prognosis of the economy if gas prices continue to stay at this level. Where I just stopped, and if you're new here, I live in Maine. Gas prices and energy in general is very expensive here. It was $4.39 for the cheapest gas. It's one of the higher gas prices in the country. There's certainly areas that are higher, but Maine is up there. $4.39 a gallon. And there's no relief in sight. In fact, it should continue to go up, is what I'm expecting. So I'm going to try to cut to the chase here and not make this long and drawn out. But what I believe, and this is based on what has happened in the past, is that if gas prices continue to stay up here and even go higher, this is what's going to happen. People already do not have nearly the amount of money that they used to have to spend on anything. We've had inflation for the last 4 and 5 years, and it continues. And now gas prices are going to cause things to go up even more. It's happening already, and it's going to continue. So disposable income, or income in general that is available to pay bills, is going to get in shorter supply. Wages are not going to keep up with the inflation and the rising prices. So this is going to cause people to change their behavior. And when I say that, what I mean is, and it's happening already, people are going to become very cautious about what they spend money on. They're going to cut back. And like I said, it's happening already. So going into the future, people are going to spend less money on things because they have to put it in their gas tank. They have to prioritize and pay bills. This is going to have a domino effect. One individual family, maybe it's not that big a deal. It's not a huge impact to the economy. But when you multiply that times millions and millions of families that don't go out to eat, they don't go buy as many summer clothes, they don't go on as many trips, they cut back and spend much less money. This is going to have a massive impact to the economy. And companies, businesses, large and small, are going to see this. And they are going to try to maintain their profit levels. They're going to try to keep their business going. Large companies have to answer to shareholders, banks, and investors, and they are going to cut costs. And again, it's happening already. You've heard of layoffs that are happening all across tech companies and numerous other business entities. They are going to reduce costs. They do this a lot of different ways, but one of the ways is they spend less money themselves, so they order less supplies. They reduce services that they normally use on a daily, a weekly, a monthly basis. So not only will people be cutting back, but now companies are going to start cutting back. This will have even more domino effect, and it will spread. And this will continue. Then you're going to have companies, as they try to reduce expenses, there's a variable cost that they can adjust when they have less business, and that's people. That's called layoffs. They are going to let people go, and they will then have people do more for the same amount of money, and people will go out of work, and they will have even less money than they had before to spend. And this domino effect, this problem will continue, and it will cause the economy to get worse and worse and worse. And it really will not take long. I'm talking months. Now, maybe something will happen and gas prices will suddenly drop dramatically. I don't think so. Do you? Do you think that's going to happen? So this has happened before in the past, and typically there's a couple of ways that the economy gets bailed out. One is deflation. So you will have the opposite of inflation. Things will dramatically drop in price. Why would that happen? Because companies will be forced to sell even at a loss just to keep the doors open. And when things drop in price and then people have a set amount of money, well, now they can buy more. But that alone usually will not save things. So then there's the second thing that I was going to mention, and that's government bailouts, or companies will become investments for private equity that have expendable funds. They'll go in there and they will buy these companies and fund them, and that will bail these companies out, and oftentimes they will then start spending money again, which will then generate employment. The other thing that will happen, you've seen this in the past, where government will send out, I can't remember what they were called, but they're stipends to people. They'll send out, $2,000, $1,000, $1,500 to try to generate the economy, to try to get it going again. People will get $1,500 and they're not going to save it. They'll go blow it. And that is, it's a surge to the environment. The other thing that very often happens, and there's been a lot of theories that that's actually been happening now, and that's war. Because war generates a tremendous amount of economic activity. There's a lot of money that is spent during war on all kinds of things. It's not just bullets and bombs. It's on all kinds of things. It also boosts some high-paying jobs, and it can be a boost to the economy. So I don't proclaim to be any kind of economic expert. I am an economic observer. I've seen this happen in the past. So the bottom line is, if fuel continues to increase, stay at this level and increase even more, it's not good. I've watched several YouTube channels, and one of them just says, "Yeah, just go out and make more money." Yeah, yeah, just go sell something on eBay, or and they just totally miss the boat in understanding the impact that these high fuel prices have, not on just the individual and being able to afford the fuel, but on economic activity as a whole. So, anyways, I just wanted to share a few thoughts as I am on my way home, and thought I'd share this video kind of driving out in the country in Maine. So, anyways, that's it. I appreciate you guys spending a little bit of time here. Share it below. What are your thoughts on everything that's going on, and what are we going to see the rest of the year? We just entered the fifth month of 2026. What are we going to see the rest of the year? I'd love to hear your thoughts, and hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't. Share with some like-minded folks, and above all, stay safe. We'll see you next time.
So I ran from the cities and the noise and lies, found a piece of ground under open skies, hands in the dirt, sweat on my shirt, learning what living's really worth. While crooked men shake hands in rooms, selling souls to corporate suits. Society's sick, but I found the cure. A back road life, honest and pure. They can keep their throne and their golden news. This life out here's my modern exodus. I traded screens for a sunrise, callous palms, blisters, pride, planted seeds where hope was.